So first of all, a little bit about SCOA. If some of you may be new, so I want to just take a couple of minutes to talk about the Saskatoon Council on Aging. SCOA, as it's referred to, serves over 80,000 older adults in Saskatoon and surrounding area. It's a nonprofit organization that began operations way back in 1991. So SCOA has been around for quite some time. And it's dedicated to promoting positive aging for all in an age-friendly community. We presently have a membership of approximately 4,000, which is a great number to be able to say out loud. And positive aging means that we are trying to feel good as we grow older. And we believe that the key to positive aging is staying active. But along with that, to be engaged in the community and to be informed about issues and events. So SCOA has many programs that are planned throughout the next few months. And I would just refer you to the SCOA website, scoa.ca. And when you go to the website, you will find a whole number of different links to different opportunities, events, clubs, information. So it's a wealth of information for you that you can refer to. The phone number for the office, if you need to contact the office, is 306-652-2255. So a little bit about the Globe Walk for those of you that maybe don't know the background of it. The concept for the SCOA Globe Walk came from surveys that we years ago as part of our age-friendly Saskatoon initiative. It was like to grow old in Saskatoon. And what were their ideas about some of the barriers that they encountered living in Saskatoon? And what were their ideas that would make Saskatoon a better community for older adults and improve our quality of life? During that initiative, we talked to hundreds of older adults. One of the themes that came out was older adults voicing their concerns about isolation and reduced physical activity in the winter months. You know, Saskatoon, we heard clearly, was a tale of two cities. In the summer, it's very pleasant, warm, lots of activities, easy to get around, get outside, be physically active. But in the winter, not so much. We know, and particularly this year, we have encountered a lot of snow, and along with that ice and difficulty with moving about. And it tends to create barriers for us in terms of being physically active. And so older adults said to us that really they were looking for ways to be physically active in the winter months. So the main goal of our Globe Walk project then was to promote and encourage regular physical activity, but also socialization as a way of bringing older adults together. So it presents an opportunity for older adults to stay active and engaged by a member of a team working towards of being active in any way throughout the winter months. So the SCOA Globe Walk will run from the beginning of January to the end of April, and we will have a celebration luncheon at the beginning of May. We hold an event once a month together. Since COVID, that bringing together has been unfortunately by Zoom, or fortunately, because it has provided opportunity for lots of people to join us. So most of our events this year, again, will be by Zoom. We're hoping that by April, we might be able to get outside and hold our fourth event outside. So we'll give you a bit more information about that near the end. So over the course of the last 9 years of the Globe Walk, we have one of our Globe Walk ambassadors. Some of you may know Vera Pezer. She was our Globe Walk ambassador for many years. She was very helpful in identifying that, you know, in order to be active, you need a goal. And it's helpful to have a realistic goal that you can accomplish and even work together to accomplish it. So the idea of the Globe Walk is that people track their activity, whatever that activity is. It can be walking, biking, exercising, vacuuming, shoveling the driveway, looking after your grandkids. It can be any kind of activity where you are moving about. We didn't want any kind of barrier in place that would prevent people from joining us on a team. And so that's why we say any activity counts. So as part of the goal setting, then we tried to think about, well, what was it that we could do that would set a goal that people in common could work towards. And so the idea of the Globe Walk came about, and it was, could we gather enough people and enough activity miles, kilometers, to actually walk around the globe? And so that's how we started out, and that's why it was called the Globe Walk. The interesting thing was that first year, we were very surprised, first of all, by the number of participants, but also how far we walked. So we walked over 6 times around the globe that first year. After that success, we thought, okay, we got to broaden our horizons a bit because we've been around the globe. So over the course of the last few years, we have traveled to the moon. We have traveled back from the moon. We have visited the space station. We have achieved Olympic gold. We explored Canada's national parks. We have traveled the Great Canadian Trail, and we have taken in the 7 modern wonders of the world. All of that thanks to you and tracking your activity and giving us the information about the kilometers that you were collecting. So this year's theme, we have gone back to the globe idea, but we have changed it a little bit, but movement around the globe. So what kinds of activities are there in different countries, different cultures that we can learn about and participate with to try to make some goals for ourselves as we work through the Globe Walk over the next 4 months. So movement around the globe is our theme. I want to just remind you that as you gather your activity measurements, 15 minutes equals 1 kilometer, 30 minutes equals 2 kilometers, 1,300 steps. Some of you track your activity with something that captures your steps. So 1,300 steps equals 1 kilometer. Remember that if you participate in the dancing today, you can add that to your total too. So there's activity coming your way shortly. And I want to remind you again that any activity counts. I had a member on my team who said to me a while ago, well, I don't really do very much in the winter, and so I don't know if I'm going to be able to track. I said, well, she had a pedometer. I said, well, use your pedometer. She had 8 grandchildren. And she looked after her grandchildren in different numbers over the course of the week. So by the end of the month, she had accumulated thousands of steps, thousands and thousands of steps looking after her grandchildren. So I want to just give you that example to let you know that anything counts. And you don't need to be completely exact. We're just interested in knowing what activity people are participating in, what kinds of incentives are helpful for you, how you monitor your activity, and those are the kinds of things that are useful for us and for you. I want to also just take a minute to thank our sponsors. We couldn't run the Globe Walk without the financial support of several different sponsors. The Dakota Dunes Community, the Community Development Initiatives Fund, Saskatchewan Seniors Fitness Association, the Forever in Motion are the primary sponsors of the Globe Walk. And we, as I mentioned, we have a Globe Walk committee, and the committee is myself, Janet Barnes, Kimberly Rollison, Kimberly Guillaume, Virginia Danikwich, Cynthia Johnson, Joyce Tremmel, Donna Nielsen, Sheldon Krause, Ron Spizzeri, Alice Samko, Kit Kelly. And that committee is the group that is responsible for organizing and facilitating the Globe Walk for you. So just a huge thank you to that committee. Most have been participants for about 10 since the Globe Walk began. And we really appreciate the commitment and the creativity and the hard work that the committee members put in to make the Globe Walk a success. So today's event. Saturday was Ukrainian Christmas. So for our presentation today, we are certainly honored to have international folk dancer Dorothy McQueen demonstrating for us a Ukrainian village dance for you to follow along. And Marion and Angie Wohlbaum playing Ukrainian music, and Marion to share a Ukrainian story. Just a reminder that you may be asked to move around and do so in a safe way within your own space, and that it can be counted towards your activity. So we're certainly honored to have Dorothy with us today to help us enjoy Ukrainian dancing on Ukrainian, just as we have passed Ukrainian Christmas and into Ukrainian New Year's. So Virginia is going to share a video that we have of Dorothy McQueen.
Here it is, some dancing.
I would just ask if you could mute yourself, please.
International Folk Dance Club. There are many beautiful Ukrainian dance groups in the city, and ours is a recreational club, and we teach village dances. So this dance that I'm going to teach is a very easy dance that you can follow along. It's called Oi Na Hore Stot Kata, which means by a hill, on a hill. And the song is about a girl who's sitting on a fence waiting for her boyfriend to come and pick her up, and she's looking so forward to seeing him, but on the way he meets another beautiful girl and decides he's going to go off with her, and she sits and waits and he doesn't arrive. So finally she leaves, and she doesn't hear from him, and so she finds her own new love. And yet what happens to that boy? His love affair didn't last, and he wishes he was still with his first love. And by that time it's too late, and his friend says, well, when you find true love, you stay with it. So that's kind of the gist of the story of the song. So like I said, it's a very village dance. This costume is actually from the Kyiv area. I don't know much about the costume, but I know that that's the area that it's from. So the dance, we'll start. I'm going to turn my back so you can follow the steps. So you're going to start and you're going to sway right and left and right and left. And then you're going to take 4 step closes to your right. Side, close, side, close, side, close, side, and make sure you take the weight on that left foot because the next little part starts on the right. So doing that once more, we're going to go sway, 2, 3, 4, side, close, side, close, side, close, side, close. So your weight's on your left foot, and you're going to go in with a touch and back with a touch, and in with a touch and back with a touch. Now we're going to do what's called a grapevine, and you're going to step to the side, behind, side, in front, and we do that again. Side, behind, side. This time we do a touch so that our weight is on our right foot. So let's just do that part all over again from the start. So we're going to go sway, 2, 3, 4, side, close, side, close, side, close, side, close, in touch, and back touch, and in touch, and back touch, and side, behind, side, and front, side, behind, side with a touch. Now we're going to start the dance from the in touch, out touch, but this time we start with our left foot. So it's going to go in, touch, back, touch, in, touch, back, touch. Now we're going to do that grapevine, but starting with our left foot. Side, behind, side, in front, side, behind, and side with a touch. That's the whole dance, and it's just repeated all over. So a dance like this would be done in gatherings of friends, or at a wedding, or just in the village square. So the dance is hoi, no, hoi nas, hore, scot, asato, kata.
Сидить сумно поглядає, на гуслика чекає. Сидить сумно поглядає, на гуслика чекає. А той гуцул забарився, десь на другу задивився десь на другу, та й забув про свою любов. Задивився десь на другу, та й забув про свою любов. Людка сльози втирає, та й осені питає. Скажи мені, осінь мила, дівча моя сліпила. Скажи мені, осінь мила, дівча моя сліпила. Десь у полі вітер віє, про дівчину сумріє, а дівчина вже кохана, давно з другим спарована. А дівчина вже кохана, а дівчина вже кохана, давно з другим спарована. Хай він знає, хай повчиться, кинув мило тебе злиця, бо лишився зовсім самий, бо лишився зовсім самий, і ні з ким не спарований. Бо лишився зовсім самий, бо лишився зовсім самий, і ні з ким не спарований. Треба знати, що робити, з усіх лиш одну любити. А дівчина варта того, а дівчина варта того, щоби мати миленько. А дівчина варта того, а дівчина варта того, щоби мати миленько. Щоби мати миленько, щоби мати миленько.
Well, did you follow along? Or did you were like me? Did you just kind of sit and watch in fascination? So that's a great example of cultural influence in how we move and what dancing can do in terms of activity. In order for us to keep movement up, and particularly dancing, we often are accompanied by songs or musical instruments. So first of all, I want to thank Dorothy for such a great example of a Ukrainian village dance and her very clear instructions on how we could do it. And the next time we all gather together at the field house, we'll have to do that around the track. I'm counting on that. I'm not sure. People are kind of smiling about that, but I'm not too sure. So we could give it a try sometime. Anyway, thank you very much to Dorothy for doing that for us and explaining to us the meaning of the dance. So as part of the accompaniment then with dance in culture, musical instruments and singing become part of that activity as well. So we have two guests with us, Angie and Marion Wohlbaum, who are going to play Ukrainian songs using guitar and accordion. And Virginia is going to screen share that with us.
Prayers for peace in Ukraine at this time. I'm Marion Mutala, my sister Angie Wohlbaum here with the Sassy Sisters, and we're going to do a little tribute to our Ukrainian heritage with some traditional Ukrainian songs. And the first one is Sistra, Oi Sistra. Our next tune is Tom Nahori, another traditional tune. And now we'd like to do a polka for you. It's called the Vivara polka or Barbara polka. And the last song we're going to do to you today is You Are My Sunshine. And I've just recently become a Baba, and my mom used to sing it to my daughter Natasha, and now I'm singing it to Oliver. So You Are My Sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Don't take my sunshine away. The other night, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, I was staying around, so I hung my head and my sunshine, my only sunshine, make me happy. There's no rain, no never loved you. How much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. One more time. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Дякую.
Wow. Thank you to Angie and Marion. So I have a question for you. Were your toes tapping along with the music? I don't know about you, but whenever I've attended any Ukrainian event, a wedding in particular, as soon as the accordion music starts and the polka music begins, everybody is up off of their chairs, whether they actually know how to polka or not, but they soon learn when they join the rest of the crew on the dance floor. So it is music that kind of makes you want to move. So special thanks again to Angie and Marion for sharing that music with us. As a last piece to our appreciating Ukrainian heritage, Marion is going to share a story with us. So I'll turn it over now to Marion.
Christos Rodavsia. Merry Christmas. And I'm here today to talk about Ukrainian Christmas and the beautiful traditions that Ukrainians have around Sviat Večer. But before I begin that, I want to read a little poem called Ukrainian Daughters Dance from that book, and it's called Why. Have you ever wondered why you do things? I love orange, yellow, bright, magnificent colors, radiates like the sun, soothes my soul. I often wondered why. I love sunflowers, all shapes and sizes, beautiful flowering heads. Restores my faith. I wondered why. I love red boots and purses and all things embroidered. Creates a mood of joy. I wondered why. Until now. I know the reason why orange and yellow fill my life. Sunflowers change my spirit, and red boots, purses, and embroidery invigorate me. All things Ukrainian, just like me. And the next poem I'd like to read is called Дуже Дуже Dobra. And do you know what the #1 favorite food is in Canada? They did a survey. Well, if you guessed pierogies or vareniki or patahe, as my mom says, then you would be correct. So they used to have these all-you-can-eat pierogi nights at the churches, and I was inspired to write this poem called Дуже Дуже Dobra. Very, very good. These vareniki are good, I say to the stranger sitting across from me at the bazaar table. He says, have you ever had a bad pierogi? Why do you think I look like this? He grabs his fat roll around his belly. I look at him while I continue eating the patahe piled high with squirt ghee, sour cream, melted butter, mushroom sauce, and fried onions, salivating and thinking, good, Дуже Дуже Dobra. I can just taste those pierogies right now. So that's from my poem, Ukrainian Daughters Dance. The next thing I would like to talk to you about is my books. I wrote a whole series of books called Baba's Babushka, Magical Ukrainian Christmas, Easter, Wedding, and then going back to Kiev. And in it, it has all the features of my family and all the beautiful Ukrainian Christmas Eve traditions is the one I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to read a little bit from this book, Baba's Babushka, Magical Ukrainian Christmas. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's a picture of my mom. My mom was Sophie Dubek. She grew up in Hafford, Saskatchewan. And this is a tribute to my ancestors and our beautiful Ukrainian traditions. And in the book, Natalia, the little girl, is out playing in the snow, and a beautiful babushka lands on her head. What is a babushka? Well, you know the beautiful headscarves that the Ukrainians wear. And many cultures wear headscarves. And Natalia is out playing in the snow. A beautiful babushka lands on her head like this, swoops her up and takes her back to Ukraine. And she meets her Baba, her grandmother, as a little girl, and she learns all the beautiful Christmas Eve traditions, Sviat Večer, the meatless dishes, and the beautiful cabbage rolls and pierogies and kucha. Kucha is the first dish. It's cooked wheat served on Ukrainian Christmas Eve. And at the back of my books, I have recipes for these recipes for the books and for the kucha and borscht and all the different delicious foods Ukrainians have. So I'm just going to read a little bit from Baba's Babushka, A Magical Ukrainian Christmas. Snowflakes fell softly from the cloudy gray sky as Natalia sang to herself. Try-ya-ya, try-ya-ya. She twirled and danced, tossing her blonde braids back and forth, the cold of the Saskatchewan winter making her cheeks bright and rosy, and her song come out in breathy wisps. She pranced over the bridge in her parents' farmyard on an imaginary regal horse, each step crunching through a new layer of white as she pretended to ride the horse all the way from their farm to the town of Hafford, Saskatchewan. Snow drifted down onto her hair, face, and eyelashes. It was almost Viavichir, Christmas Eve, and Mama had sent her out to play while she finished making their special dinner. Natalia could almost taste it and opened her mouth, pretending the fluffy snowflakes were plum-stuffed pierogi. Dobra, good. The snowflakes melted on her tongue and decorated her jacket. It felt good to be outside in the sharp, crisp air. She waved cheerfully at her Mama, standing at the kitchen window of their old prairie farmhouse. Mama smiled and waved back. As far away as she was, Natalia could tell Mama's eyes were twinkling, the same way Baba's bright sky blue ones had, crinkling up the corners when she smiled. Natalia had loved her Baba very much. Baba was in heaven, and though Natalia missed her every day, she knew Baba watched over her. And the unique feature of my books is that Baba is in the sky watching over Natalia and all my books. Suddenly, the sun burst through the cloudy sky, scattering bright rainbows over the white landscape like flowers on the fields. But wait, those were flowers? Flowers in winter? What was happening? Radiant, colorful blooms floated on the air, tossed to and fro by the wind, their vibrant hues dancing as they drifted to earth. Natalia was spellbound. A few blossoms drifted like snow towards her. A moment later, a flowered babushka covered her head, and Natalia was swept off her feet. A shiver of excitement ran through her as she left the ground and rose over the farmyard, spinning skyward. Faster now, up, 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 she climbed. Natalia rose higher and higher, floating past clouds and around stars. She nearly touched the moon. It took her breath away. The winds cradled her like a newly fallen leaf. She wondered dreamily where she was going. What adventure was about to take place? And if you want to find out where Natalia goes and learn all the beautiful Ukrainian Christmas Eve traditions, Viavichir, they're in my book. So that's my whole series, Baba's Babushka, Magical Ukrainian Adventures. 4 books in one. A couple other books I wrote are More Babas, Please, honoring all Babas in the world and all grandmothers from different cultures. And in it, it has this beautiful wordle. And if you see, that's all the different ways of saying Baba, like grandmère or kukum, or different ways to say Baba around the world, celebrating all and honoring grandmothers. So I'm just going to read a little bit from this book, More Babas, Please. Big ones, small ones, fat ones, tall, curly-haired, straight-haired, wig-wearing, bald, a rainbow of colors, shapes, and size, fun and kind and loving and wise. More Babas, please. Don't need any candy, though I do like treats. What I need isn't something to eat. It's my Baba and her hug so sweet. More Babas, please. Don't need more clothes, though I like to be in style. What I need is her great big smile. When it's from my Baba, it's all worthwhile. More Babas, please. You notice Baba's wearing a babushka. Don't need more toys, though they're lots of fun. What I need when my day is done is my Baba to teach me Ukrainian. More Babas, please. Don't need hamburgers, no, not one. When I need energy to jump and run, I eat Baba's cabbage rolls or borscht with a bun. More Babas, please. And there they are, the beautiful cabbage rolls and borscht. And the unique thing about Ukrainian borscht is it's made with beets. There are lots of things to see and do and many things to buy brand new, but what I need, and so do you, is more Bubbas, please. And I think I'll end that story there. More Bubbas, please. And I also have the companion piece honoring all grandfathers, My Buddy Dido, that you can get too. So my mom grew up in Hafford, Saskatchewan. Her family was Dubeck, Sophie Dubeck, and she had 6 brothers and sisters, and they were all very musical, and they used to have a Dubeck band. And I wrote a poem called Because, honoring them and remembering about our culture, so I'm going to share that with you too right now. A tribute to remember is what we do. Many things important to me and you. What do you remember about your family? Where you came from and who you are today? Because of your past, your traditions will last. Because of their faith, preserve the past. Ukrainian food and culture are vital to our life. Special roots we have, we shall not forget. Our Bubbas and Didos worked so hard, never gave up the fight, and loved us so much. Preservation of Ukrainian culture was important to them. So let us now raise a toast to our ancestors again and again, because we will remember your great gift of life. Through stormy weather and all your strife, memories of you will always be there. I am strong because you cared. I am blessed because of your great faith. And I am Ukrainian because of you. Dai Boja, we say in Ukrainian traditions, a toast to them. And I want to end today with one last poem from Race to Finish. It's a poetry book I wrote during COVID, and it's a play on words. If humans do not stop racism, systemic racism, white privilege, and killing innocent Black and Indigenous people, it will be the end of humanity. We will destroy each other. The whole premise is, will the human race make it to the finish line? And I hope so. This is my prayer for the world, and I sign all my books, Peace, Marion Mutala, because my books now have become tools of peace in the world. Race to finish. Will we make it? It does not look like it if you watch TV. But movements are happening and in the right direction. But we've seen it before with Martin Luther King, Louis Riel, Nora Berard, Ann Cools, Chief Dan George, Alanis Obasowan, and Drake. Indigenous lives matter. Black Lives Matter. So with time on our side due to the strange COVID-19 pandemic slowing down the world, let us evaluate what really matters. What do we value? Lives. Let us talk about justice, equality, and human rights. We have time to stand and be the voice for change. Can we race to finish, or will race wars finish humanity? Well, I hope not. And if we look at this book, I have to give a big heads up to Kevin Pius. He did this beautiful painting, if you take it apart like this, on reconciliation. And it's in Edmonton at the University of Alberta, in the university there, the big painting of it. He did it in the 90s and talking about reconciliation. So he did a beautiful job. And there's so much detail in this painting, So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Diakoyu, and prayer again for peace in Ukraine.
Well, thank you very much to Marion for sharing some of her Ukrainian heritage with us through her storytelling and her books. The Ukrainian Daughters Dance, Baba's Babushka, More Babas, Please, My Buddy Dido, Race to the Finish, all were important examples for us of different aspects of culture and heritage that can influence us. And thanks to Angie and Dorothy as well for helping us to understand a little bit about Ukrainian heritage through music and dance. So we have spent a little bit of time in a different culture as part of our movement around the globe. We have learned a little bit about Ukrainian heritage and Ukrainian customs. Special thanks again to Dorothy, Angie, and Marion for participating with us and helping us move around the globe. As we move along, I want to just now talk a little bit about some of the Globe Walk activities, just so that you have that information before we leave. There will be opportunity at the end. I think we have time. If any of you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. We'll probably have time for that if you like. So if you are interested in walking at the Fieldhouse track, and if you have not already purchased a lanyard to do so, there are still some available. The price is $40, and you are able to walk the indoor track at the Fieldhouse from January to April. There are times allocated, and the times available, I think, for the lanyards that are left are Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 3. So if you haven't got a lanyard yet and you are wanting to walk at the Fieldhouse, you can contact the SCOA office and arrange for that. We have a new blog post for the Globe Walk, and that blog will be posted every Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about different aspects of culture and heritage around the globe. So if you go to the SCOA website, scoa.ca, on the bottom right-hand corner, click on the blog button, and that will open the page with all the latest news and the posts on the website. You can watch the YouTube video by clicking on Movement Around the Globe picture. Now, you can also get to that same spot by going to the SCOA Globe Walk website. They're all connected together, so you'll eventually get to the same spot. If you like, you can sign up for email updates. You can let the SCOA office know if you want to do that. And then when news is added to the Globe Walk website, you'll receive an email that will remind you that there's an update for you to check the Globe Walk homepage. If you are on Facebook, you can click the Facebook button on the Globe Walk website, and that will take you to the Globe Walk Facebook page. So there's lots of ways to keep up to date and to participate in different ways with the Globe Walk. And again, just a reminder to continually check the Globe Walk website, which is all one word, SCOAglobewalk.net. If you aren't able to kind of navigate that way, you can just go to the scoa.ca website and find the information that way. I want to just take a minute to thank Cynthia and Virginia for helping bring together the Zoom call today. And there were, I don't know if any of you had a kind of glitchy video, but I did, but I think that's just the hazards of Zooming and trying to bring different kinds of technologies together. So thank you to Cynthia and Virginia for that. And I noticed that in the chat, Virginia did post the link to the SCOA Globe Walk website. So watch your email. We'll be sending you out an evaluation for today's event. Your feedback means a lot. Keep tuned because February there will be an event and we will be celebrating a different culture each month. And so something different will be happening in February. And as I said, by April, I hope that we will be able to join together outside. Reminder that May, there will be a wind-up celebration at the Western Development Museum. So we can keep you posted on that and stay tuned for more information on the website. We have a winner for today's draw. We try to have a draw every time we have an event. And so the winner today is Barb Morrell. Way to go, Barb. Awesome. And the prize is a Toyota gym bag. So for you to haul all of your stuff to the field house when you come for a walk. So that's great. You can Cynthia will contact you to let you know how you receive that prize. So thank you very much for joining us today. Remember to tell your friends and that everyone is welcome. You can join the Globe Walk at any time. Special thanks to the captains who keep us organized and collect our activity numbers and provide them to SCOA so we can kind of track what's happening with our Globe Walk. The team captains are just a critical part of the success of our walk. So stay tuned for February event. Hope to see you at the field house. And if not, happy walking, riding, playing, singing, dancing, anything that gets you somewhat active in the winter months, and joining together with other people as much as you can. I don't know if there are any, Kit Kelly from Regina was asking if there are any Regina captains here today. I don't know, Kit, if that's the case. I want, if you are able to, could you raise your hand maybe, if there's a Regina captain? We do have teams in Regina as well as in Saskatoon. So that's relatively new for us with the Globe Walk, but I don't see any Kit. So I don't think there are any Regina team captains with us today. However, Kit, you could let them know that it is recorded. The event is recorded, so they can catch it on the website. It'll be posted in the Globe Walk, on the Globe Walk page within a short period of time, and they can check it out that way. I'll just ask if anybody has any questions that they want to pose for us before we wrap up. I'm always aware on Zoom that we need to allow enough time for people to actually ask a question if they have one. If you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask away. In the chat, there was a reminder that the SCOA also has a YouTube page, and you can access that if you're on, if you're wanting to watch the event that's posted on YouTube. So it'll be posted there as well as on the SCOA Globe Walk page. Okay, well, I want to extend a special thanks again to our very special guests today, Dorothy, Angie, and Marion, who very kindly shared some aspects of their Ukrainian culture with us, encouraged us to be active through dance and at least maybe toe tapping today. And it was very interesting and certainly relevant with the situation in Ukraine to try to understand aspects of their culture. So thank you all very much for participating with us, and stay tuned for our February event. And we will see you all in February. Thank you so much for participating today.